Okay, so now we're going to talk about Collaboration 8. So this is a practice that we practice with Jurgen Appelo out of the Netherlands, and he wrote a book, and we think it comes from RACI. So how many people know what RACI is, right? Right, responsible, accountable, consultant informed, right? Project management type stuff. And when I was a manager before my Agile days, I never really knew what to do with RACI. It was like I had this RACI chart, but really didn't leverage it. So I think this is, to me, is an adaptation from RACI, and at Lean Dog, we've even taken a step forward. So the way it works is that same thing, kind of like the Fist of Five. There's one end of the spectrum, there's another end of the spectrum. There's one end where I really have, I know exactly what I need to do and what I want you to do it this way, versus I don't really care and I'm delegating this completely to you. And in the middle, you kind of have, hey, I want to pair with somebody. So we have this tell, right? I want to tell you exactly what I want, or I want to sell something to you, like I consider my responsibility, but I want buy-in from others. To, I actually want your insight, but I want to decide how we're going to do the work and consult you. First, I want to pair with you and actually be in the middle. And then I'm on the other side, okay? I don't care that much about it. I want to give you my advice, right? But you can choose how you do to get the outcome done. Or I trust you to do the work, but I want to understand I can support you. So I want to understand why you feel this way about doing something so that I can support your decision if somebody says, well, why do we do it this way? Okay, first, I want to delegate. I don't care. I'll see it when I see it. You guys make the decisions. I have enough to do, and I want to be involved. The joker is kind of a BS card to say, well, you know what? You told me that you wanted to kind of pair with me, but you're actually selling me or telling me what to do. So that's a card we introduced to kind of call people out and say, hey, that's a safe card to say you're kind of violating the agreement we had earlier. So let me just kind of show you how this works. This is an example in running Lean Dog, and we have coaching, training, studio, marketing. So as a leadership team, we kind of agreed at what level of involvement do you want to have in running our company. So this is kind of an operational view of this. And this also helps us decide when we have meetings. I don't need to include everybody in the meeting. I might go and talk to a couple people who on this side, like, hey, Bill and John, what do you think about the studio? But I'm trusting Nick, Matt, and Nicole to actually run my studio. Okay, so that's our level of engagement that we have in actually operationalizing, right, running a company. A simpler example could be we're going to run a conference. So often what happens is somebody say, hey, yeah, I think we should, we're an ABC company, and I think we should create this super mega conference Ramath thing, and we should have an internal Agile conference. So we know we need to have a location, we know we need to have food and drink, advertising, right? We need to have a budget, and it goes on and on, right? There's certain epics that you have when you're going to facilitate a conference. So when we then say, okay, well, let's sign up for actually executing this conference, what level of involvement do you want? And you can see here, Amy wants to give her advice, Bill wants to agree, James has a strong opinion about running this, so does Sue, right? So these people are more on the execution side, these people are on the kind of the consultant informed side of RACI, okay? Same thing with food and drink, Bill has a strong opinion, Amy just wants to know so they can support the person. Same thing with advertising, right? So by actually putting people and saying, where are you at on executing this? Often what happens, you'll find out is that, wow, there's a lot of people that want to give their opinion, but not a lot of people that want to take ownership for it. So who's responsible and accountable? Who's consulting and giving their opinion? And so when you flush this out, sometimes we'll just kill a project. We'll say, wow, we should not run this conference because clearly everybody's on the right side, and we don't have people that are strong enough that they're going to take accountability for the left side. So this is a good example of using Collaboration 8. And again, if you're facilitating this and we'll do weekly iterations or running this conference, we'll create a backlog and we'll talk about what do we need to do to execute this conference. And at some point we'll pull out the joker card. So we're like, you know what, that was great, Amy, you said that you just wanted to have inquire about it, but clearly you're way over here with Bill, right? Because you and Bill are arguing constantly about the food and what we're going to do and how we're going to do this. So we maybe need to shift responsibility to the left or shift advising to the right. You haven't been attending the meetings about this, but you say you're on the left. You're not committed. You're not responsible and accountable. You're shifting to the right. So it just leads for some transparency and conversation around leadership and commitment. Okay. So that's servant leadership.